for me to be addressing all of you here. And it's actually so beautiful to be a woman. And I feel all the phases in women's, as you are born as a baby girl, I think it's a blessing to have daughters. To be born as a woman, it is like a dream come true. And I would rarely say that each one of us should love oneself and the daughters of the world, so that what they are and how beautiful they are. I just don't have words to express. You will see that Indian mythology, if you see, the goddess are most of the goddess are females. And why? Because they are strong. No matter what problems come may what in their lives, they struggle, they fall, they get up, they are again full of energy, and they ready to fight, and shine high, soar high, no matter what comes in their lives. So I feel that being women is a blessing, and one should treasure. And if you talk about that, so many women across the world, across the boundaries, you see how good they're doing. The reason is that they are so organized. They are, if you see at the workplaces also, they are so well organized. Their work is meticulous. They're responsible. And if you, I have a lot of, because in a school, if you see, I have a lot number of teachers. They're all females and they're males also. But if you compare the work, the females are much better in delivering the quality of work. They do the peer pressure, the peer training, the training of the staff, the helping, the nature. I feel the females are much better. Why? Because they have a lot of patience and they don't have egos, right? So I would say that we should actually, on this Women's Day, we should actually salute women, because they are the future. They are the, जो कहते हैं ना कि जननी है, मातृभूमि. Like if we salute our mother earth, so it is like we should salute women also, because she is the one who nurtures the family. It's rightly said. You educate a female in the family, and you educate the entire world. Because if a female is educated in the family, the entire family is educated. So and I feel that the female are really passionate. They live their dreams. If they have thought of doing something, till the time they don't do it, they don't sleep. They have sleepless nights. So that is what I feel. And they really have respect for one another. They love people around. They follow what you say, and they always, I think, I really always tell my teachers as well, that dream big, learn, and never stop learning, because that will really make you a different women from you'll be marching along a different way, when you do such things. And that is what I see, that there's a lot of job satisfaction when the females are working, and the organizational work and the dedication what they opt is really, really beautiful. And as ma'am said earlier, that yes, we should actually stand for ourselves. And now gone are those times when the people thought of that, no, females are less. I don't so that they are any more less now. Any work you see, any of the areas, any of the fields, you will see a woman there. So there is beauty in this work. And so I feel that we should have a lot of regard and a lot of respect for women. You know what? If I talk about myself, when I got married, I was just a graduate. And along the way, nurturing my child, I just a mother of a proud mom of a daughter, and nurturing and taking care of her, and then studying along. I did my B.Ed, I did my M.Ed, I did my PhD. Then I did so many things along with her, and also worked while taking care of my family. So you will see that this only a female can do. if you talk about men, they carry these many responsibilities. I am not, looking down or looking down upon men, but yes, because women are powerful. They are powerful, and they have lot of patience and lot of capabilities of taking hard work, and they can work for long hours. They take care of the family. If you see working women, they get up early in the, they cook food, make up tiffins, lunch, and everything. So if you see, they are multitasking, right? So I feel that women are women, and let's have a lot of respect for them and a lot of love for them, and let's all promise each other that we will love ourselves because we are great, we are special. And, thank you so much with this message. I would say that yes, we all are special and we are lovely.
Truly said, ma'am, truly. And I really believe that all of the speakers need a huge amount of applause all the time and your hearts. This is actually a revolution which we are bringing together. This is an actual celebration of Women's Day, what we are celebrating. And I would request all of our eminent speaker, please go with the 7 to 8 minutes, because we have to cover with each and every speaker. So, feminism isn't about making women strong. Feminism isn't about making women strong. Women are already strong. It's about changing the way the world perceives that strength. So, do remember. Now, I would like to call. Yeah, yeah. Yes, sir. I've seen. Yeah, I'm calling you. Yes, sir. So I would love to invite our most inspirational dignitary over here, Kajal Chatija, ma'am. Please, ma'am, over to you, Executive Director, Group of Schools. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening to one and all. I hope I'm audible.
Absolutely, ma'am. Perfectly audible.
Good evening, His Highness, and good evening to many Her Highnesses present in the Zoom room. I can see a lot of powerful set of women over here, along with Madhavi, madam. I'm really glad and honored to be one of them. And I don't know whether I deserve to be or not, but still I accept it humbly and I feel honored. And here I would like to appeal to remember our roots from where we are coming. I hail from India, where we all know that where sati was practiced, where still in many villages it is considered that when the woman hits puberty, it is considered that she's ready to get married, isn't it? So, here, as we have got this right to speech, to bring justice, and at the same time, I feel lucky to be one of you all and perceive my dreams, what I want to do, my family, my surroundings, and people like you are supporting me and helping me what I am able to do. So over here, I'm taking the opportunity to appeal to bring justice, at least by speaking, at least by bringing awareness, and stop if you have witnessed such practices where it still exists. Yes, in villages, it still exists where a woman is considered that education is not given equal opportunities. We always say that boys education is considered to be uh, more, it's given more emphasis than women, because they consider it that woman is going to get married and it's of no use. So let's you know get rid of these petty issues and this thought of not giving education rights to women. So let's empower and let's raise our voice against all these ill practices. And I am here to be one of you all, and I resonate the same energy which I am getting from this Zoom room. All the women over here, I see a reflection falling on me as if we have become one, and we are the brightest sun. When we get up in the morning, we see the sun. So over here, all the women, I am resonating the same energy, and let's be the sun. Let's be the ray of hope in someone's life. Thank you so much for having me, and let's raise the bar of justice. Let's bring more empowerment in one's life, and let's raise the womanhood, and let's celebrate this Women's Day. Thank you so much.
Greatly said, ma'am. Greatly said. And when it comes to expressive, if you don't you want that your daughters should be so empowered, she should know how to express herself. Don't you want your sister should be there? Even I could say, don't you want your daughter or your sister, your wife should be proud to have you? She should proudly say that I have got an amazing life partner, a great dad, or a strong brother who has taught me how to do karates, how to do kung fu, how to be strengthened, and how to be how to have a self-defense. So bring that up. Let's not be coward anymore and bring that energy. So self-awareness is probably the most important thing towards being a champion. So here I'm going to call another dignitary of today, Dr. Uche Linda Okpala, ma'am, from Nigeria. Uche, ma'am, are you there? Kindly unmute yourself and come on video. Uche, ma'am, can you hear us?
Yeah. Yes, am I audible now?
Absolutely. We can see you, we can hear you.
All right, that's great. Okay, first of all, honestly, I really want to appreciate all the dignitaries here. I'm standing on the order of the existing protocol. We have a lot of dignitaries here, and honestly, I'm not sure that if okay, let me just reserve that. Okay, but I'm very grateful for this day. This week is actually Women's Week. Okay, and for giving me the opportunity, I would like to appreciate Dr. Caro and His Highness for inviting me over for this wonderful celebration of Women's Week. We all know what this week is all about, and all the speakers they've spoken so well. So, but I just really want to add to the little of what they have already said. So, as we all know that this week is an International Day of Week. Here we're celebrating women all over the world, and we also celebrating the social, economic, and cultural political achievement of women, both those presently and those have already passed. So it is International Day that takes always every 8th of March. 8th of March, and just to celebrate women, just like I said earlier on. The idea is to make the day international came from a woman called, her name, yes, Clara. She was a leader of women's office for the Social Democratic Party in Germany, and she proposed that every year that every country should celebrate this Women's Day. That is why that's what gave birth to the International Day of Women, and for that, the seeds of it were planted in the year 1908. So over 15,000 women marched, through the New York City, demanding for shorter working hours. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Ma'am. We can hear you. Absolutely, ma'am. Yeah, we can hear you.
Sorry, my network is not. I'm so sorry about that. My
network
is
it's amazing, ma'am. The network is completely.
Okay, thank you. all right, thank you so much. So ever since then, just like as I was saying, this is just a kind of overview of what this week is all about and what really gave birth to the International Women's Day. So over 15,000 women marched through the New York City demanding for shorter working hours and better pay and the right to vote. and be voted for, because women have been marginalized, and it is time for all women to stand out. So it's not a thing of today. It started since 1908. Imagine, and even up until now, I don't really know what's going on, but it's about the time that things has to be changed, and it has to start from you and I. So the conference of over 100 women from 17 countries representing the unions, socialists, and the working women's club, including the first 3 women, okay, to elected to finish the parliament, greeted the women, the first woman that suggested this, and after that, it was unopposed, unapproval, and this what made this International Day that we are celebrating today. So kudos to that woman. And it was first celebrated on the day, 19th March 1911, imagine, in Austria, Denmark, Germany, and Switzerland. So more than 1 million women attended this conference to honor the women, to protest and campaign that women should be given equal rights and equalities. I mean, in the corridors of power, when it comes to working hours, imagine the women should be treated equally. And ever since then, it has been a big fight all over the world. And not up until now, women are still being marginalized, but it requires a collaborative effort of you and I to still work it out and let the change start from you and I. So the first women rights convention was in the year in New York, actually, 1948. And there is another grand women that voted for the first ever woman in the year 1869. And the first amendment is passed in the year 1920, giving women the right to vote first ever in the United States of America. So International Days of Women was celebrated for the first time by the United Nations, imagine, by United Nations in the year 1975. Then in December 1977, the General Assembly adopted the resolution proclaiming the United Nations Day for the first women's rights and international peace to be observed on any day, every 8th of March of every year. So in accordance with the historical and national traditions. So this one that we are celebrating right now is the 111th International Women's Day or Women's Week, So, and you all know the theme is, break the bias. Yes, gender inequality today for sustainable tomorrow. Recognizing the contribution of women who has really worked their butt out for the women that we are today. So we are going to continue fighting. It's not going to stop there because we've been really treated badly by men, so to say, because of how we've been treated. And this is right time for women to take the due justice that they deserve. So women's justice and freedom of expression is one of the fundamental human rights, according to the Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. But around the world, there are governments and those sitting in the corridors of powers who find many ways to obstruct it. Women has risen to take their rightful justice. So women deserve, the right to justice in all forms without any bias. That is why we are here celebrating the women of all time, and us, we are celebrating us as well. I'm celebrating myself as well. So I really want to say that the most pressing threat to the rule of law is the political violence. Today, today it is law enforcement or the lack thereof countries plagued by violence, crime. The need for more effective policing is, we need that top public concern in most of the regions. Okay. Another thing is that with a good reason, women have right to justice, and it is well established in international human rights law to be protected from violent crime, as well as a right to justice when they are its victim. Yeah, too often we, trying to getting tough means condoning abusive policy, police practices that are not only undermined by the rule of law, by violating basic rights, but also fail to curb the crime itself. That is why women are being marginalized. Many women are dying because of there's a lot of what will I say, trauma that are going through. Even those that don't want to speak up, you see them, they will carry that secret to their early grave. So justice is just a journey. It is a pursuit to ensure that every single female can be treated with kindness, compassion, fairness, and empathy that they duly deserve. So when you think of the idea of justice, every girl child deserves an opportunity to have a quality and inclusive education, an opportunity to translate that education into a career of some sort of opportunity to be productive in a society. Justice is not just about the judicial system, but it's also justice within humanity, within us, and we connect with one another. It doesn't really matter where you're from or your complexion or whatever. What really matters is that we think and reason like humans, and we should deserve a qualitative justice. Yes, ultimate justice we need to give to each other globally, no matter where you're coming from. So there's another thing that I really want to say here. An injustice could be as a result of lack of violence and even lack of opportunity. Women are dying because of injustice meted against them by men in the following ways. Imagine sexual harassment in the working places, anywhere in the corridors of power, women's oppressions. We've been oppressed by men, domestic violence, religious doctrines, child abuse. They don't have voice because of the consequences. It's not as if that they don't want to say it, but because of the one, racial discrimination, two, the stigma, and at the end of the day, you see people, because of what really happened, they'll be segregated. So all these things are what I think that is preventing them from speaking out. But that era has gone. Now we are in the new era, and our voice must be heard. All they need is empowerment, no matter what they're being going through by all these barbaric men. Sorry to say it. So there's a lot of consequences, in recent research, has brought increased understanding of the impact of the trauma that, just like I've mentioned before, in general, and of violence against women. Both rape and intimate partner violence are associated with the host, of short and long-term problems, including physical injury and illness. Not only that, even psychological symptoms, economic costs, and that could result to death. So it is possible that these women suffered more severe trauma than women who do not seek for help, and this represents the worst cases. Please, that is why we are here doing this campaign, for everyone to know that it is our fundamental human right to have the justice that we duly deserve. One, to have freedom to speak. Yes, the freedom of speech is for everyone. It's meant for everyone, not just exclusion of some parts of people from different backgrounds. But you can express your opinions, to the public by creating message categories such as, in politics, jobs, labor, and so many other ways. In fact, freedom of speech it should not have any limit. So we should be given that right to express our opinions, because it's one of the fundamental human rights. So another thing that I would like to say is that, according to the former president of America, President Barack Obama, he said you have to uphold a free press and freedom of speech, because in the end, lies and misinformation are no match to the truth. That is why we are here doing this. These women are the future. Yes, we are the future, and we should be treated rightly. There should be equality. There should be harmony. There should be enough is enough. So we are not going to take this anymore. This is our time to rise up, unite together for freedom of speech, for us to men to accord us that respect, that equality, that equity that we do deserve. If freedom of speech is taken away, just tell me the deaf and dumb. In fact, we just be behaving like a sheep that a Christmas sheep that is ready to die. So we need that freedom to express ourselves. We surely stand to maintain this gender equality and break the bias of any sort. That is what I want to say. And we can not just only that, I really want to conclude with this. I know because of the time. So imagine a gender-free world or gender-equal world with a world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination, a world that is diverse, equitable, and inclusive, a world where difference is valued and celebrated, no matter your background, no matter the religion, no matter what, it doesn't really matter. Women's economic empowerment is a critical factor in achieving gender equality, in supporting wider development goals. Together, we can forge women's equality. Together, collectively, we can break all the bias. Thank you so much for the wonderful time. I know my time is already up. Thank you so much. I'm very, very grateful. And to be here today, actually, this is my first time of being on a conference apart from the one I'm organizing. Thank you so much for this wonderful time.
Thank you, ma'am. Even we are glad to have you, one of the coolest personality. So amazingly and with complete amiable, you have actually told everything. And absolutely, together we can bring that change. So let's do that. So here, now I'm going to, I request all of the eminent speaker, please go with 7 to 8 minutes. Now I would like to invite our next dignitary, Dr. Krit Kumar Bhatt, Principal at Narayan Shastri Institute of Technology. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Very good evening to all the participants here, and my special thanks to Caroline Madam, Raja sir, and the team of Life Foundation given me an opportunity to talk here. All Neha Madam, Kajal Madam, and the other speakers have said too much on the part of the what to be done and what is the woman. Women are really powerful personality in itself, but for development of any country, proper development of any country having a healthy society, it is expected that women shall equally participate in the socio-economic whatever the scenario in that country. For that purpose, Kajal Madam has rightly pointed out that in certain villages, yet there are certain issues related to this. Actually, most of the women in the village, they don't know what is their basic rights. I would like to quote here 6 to 8 rights, which if the women are aware and if we have some mechanism through which we can pass this message to the village women, I'm sure the society will be better one, and those we can bring some improvement in the life of those women. Especially, they are not aware about the right to maintenance, right to equal pay. In fact, I'm talking about in 1997 itself. Once I was present in some industry during the recruitment process, the pay offered to the women was a little lesser compared to the male. Whereas I personally believe that women and males both are different entities made for different objectives, having different appearance and understanding, thinking pattern is also different. Both only thing is that how and to what extent we are contributing. That makes us powerful, and that is the core objective of both the entities. So they are discriminating this way because they were feeling that women the outcome is a little less. After 6 o'clock, we cannot ask them to stay. They are taking too much leaves. They have their own responsibilities, so many reasons and all. But it is actually it should not happen because I have worked with many colleagues they are equally delivering in a very best manner that I have seen. Also, right to dignity and the decency. We should bring to notice to those people, those women. Sometimes they are too polite to those people uh, because of whom they are feeling uncomfortable. Even though they are feeling uncomfortable, they are still polite. Prefer to remain polite to those people. It should not be actually that need to be. And right at workplace, in some of the industries, there is no separate sanitation arrangement for the women's. Yet it is there in the, especially in India, especially in India. And I know that there should be feeding arrangement and the caretaking sort of things where there is more than 30 women working together. Also, there is yet one more nuisance dowry. So, right against rights
So I think you're
to
facing some
those
network
women who are
problem.
actually free legal aid.
So you're facing some network
Am I
issues. We
audible?
can't hear you.
Am I audible?
So your voice is lagging. We can't hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, it's not audible. No issues, sir. You can try to rejoin if it's possible. Till that, I can call next speaker.
Every okay.
No, sir. Yeah, it's breaking. Yeah, no issues. Okay, so it was amazingly said by sir. If we talk about women, but they all should know their rights wherever. I would like to say that they were never been a sir. Can we try to hear you if you? Okay. So yeah, everyone is working in every way, but now it's time to empower herself to know her ability. So I always say a short story by myself, one of the favorite story, I think, that there was one elephant, like little elephant,